Hi, I'm Emyle Watkins, and this is the WBFO Disabilities Beat. More than 7 million Americans have some form of vision loss or are blind, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But despite so many people living with a vision disability, many barriers exist to just getting around your community. Recently, I spoke with Chris Minkler, the president of the Buffalo chapter of the National Federation of the Blind, about some of the barriers Western New Yorkers who are blind or low vision face in accessing public transportation. This conversation has been edited for length and clarity.
Paratransit is transportation for people with disabilities. It's run by the NFTA, the Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority. You have to apply, contact the paratransit office at 716-855-7239, and you have to be approved for service. It's $4 a trip, or if you get the card, which covers 20 trips, it comes out to $3.50 a trip. They go to many locations throughout Erie and Niagara County, and I use paratransit frequently. I know many people who use paratransit.
What are some of the barriers with paratransit? I know you have to schedule in advance. I know it does not go everywhere.
You do have to schedule in advance. You can't call the same day as your trip. You can call the day before or a couple days before or a week before. And currently it will only go up to 3/4 of a mile from a bus line. So where you're being picked up from and where your destination must be within 3/4 of a mile from any bus line. So there's a bill in the state Senate and Assembly that, if it passed, would extend that service to up to 3 miles from a bus line. So this, if it passed, would allow us to go to more job sites or doctor's appointments, shopping, a variety of places, because under the current restriction, there are some places that we can't go through paratransit. So we have to go to where it would drop us off and then get a ride from Uber or a cab or somewhere else to get to the rest of the distance.
And are Uber and Lyft always reliable for you?
No, there have been issues with Uber, particularly from guide dog users being denied trips, and we're having a big protest in San Francisco for this issue.
Why are people being denied trips because they have a guide dog? Are people thinking that it's just a pet, or they don't want a dog in their car?
I think a lot of drivers just don't want to have a dog in their car, and they'll just deny the rider. We have complained about this, and Uber has a policy that if that happens, they'll investigate and the driver will be taken off their service. But unfortunately, this does continue to happen with Uber.
Have there been any places you personally haven't been able to go because of paratransit's restrictions?
Yes, mainly because of the time restriction. Depending on where you live, I live in Williamsville, so I can only receive service up to a certain time, up to 6 p.m. So in the evening, there are places I can't go, and also on the weekends I can't receive service. So it really depends on where you live in Erie or Niagara County, on where you can go and what times you can go.
And I know that Stephanie Speaker has been working for years on expanding paratransit, so it would go, instead of 3/4 of a mile, 3 miles beyond a mainline route. And I know that a lot of advocates have been pushing for extended service hours, same day scheduling. Mm-hmm. For you, what do you think the biggest priority is right now?
Extending the service. So they may have to hire more drivers and get more vehicles, but extending that service would allow us to get to more locations, to more job sites, doctor's appointments, shopping, variety of places. That would help a great deal if we could extend the service.
So the distance is really the biggest issue at this moment.
Yes.
In general, what kind of advocacy has NFB been doing in relation to paratransit?
We go to Albany every year, and this has been one of our recent priorities in the state Senate and Assembly. This year, there was a bill in the state Senate sponsored by Senator Kennedy when he was a senator, and now is sponsored by Senator Jeremy Cooney from Rochester. He's the chairman of the Transportation Committee in the New York State Senate, and in the Assembly, sponsored by Assemblymember Steck. And so we've been doing advocacy work. We had both in-person and Zoom meetings in March of this year, and we were able to see over 100 senators and assembly members and their staff.
You can listen to the Disabilities Beat segment on demand, view a transcript and plain language description for every episode on our website at WBFO.org. I'm Emyle Watkins. Thanks for listening.